How long would you survive in poverty? To find out, this businesswoman trades places
People have said to me, there's no real poverty in Northern Ireland.
with this single mother on benefits.
We survive and they live. That's the way I think.
How will she adjust to being back on the breadline? And how long will this socialite last on social security? What will the week reveal?
I'm just in shock.
Life swap, diamonds and dough. Spotlight, Tuesday, 10:35 on BBC1.
All human life is on the internet. Ruby Wax logs on to Lenny Henry TV. That's after Brian Hollywood investigates a wife swap with a difference. An extended spotlight, diamonds and dough.
Every 4 days, someone here buys a new Ferrari or Bentley. Property prices have risen faster than anywhere else in Europe, and the number of millionaires has doubled in the last 5 years. But this same region has the lowest weekly wages in the UK and Ireland. Half the people living here make less than £300 a week, and a staggering 10% of children live in severe poverty. To test the poverty trap, we invited two women from opposite ends of the income spectrum to swap lives for a week. A single mum on benefits agreed to trade places with a well-off businesswoman. So how long will this socialite survive on social security? How will the lone parent enjoy life off the breadline? And what will they both learn living each other's lives? This is their story. 7 days of diamonds and dough. Meet Brenda Shanky.
I don't know anybody living in severe poverty, and in this day and age, you know, and especially Northern Ireland, I'd really like to see kind of what the truth is in that environment.
She and her husband Jason run a male grooming and internet company. Its turnover last year was £4 million. Brenda's world is all about glamour, so why is she willing to leave her luxury home and enter the poverty trap?
I think society believes that people just maybe are given too much help by the government, that, you know, maybe our taxes are paying for people to live when maybe they just don't want to get out and go to work, who are sitting in council houses maybe with the cars, with their big TVs, and, you know, when there's so many jobs out there, why is there so much high unemployment? There's questions like that that I would like answered.
Meet Teresa Agnew.
I've met middle class people. I think they've got a very poor impression of working class people. But, you know, they think we don't want to work, you know.
A single mum on benefits of £130 a week, she has made headlines as a campaigner on issues such as homelessness. Teresa wants to highlight what it's like to be poor.
I think maybe middle class people are listened to more than us, and if I can get across to them exactly how we live. And really and truly all people that I know want is a roof over their head and enough money to buy their food and their electric and their coal and things like that. You know, that's what's important. It's just surviving. We survive and they live.
A Stormont report last month found that a third of children here live in poverty. Brenda's kids, Will and Lauren, will accompany her to Armagh, where they will go to a new school.
I think it's going to be a great challenge for them. And I think it'll be good for the kids as well to experience how a third of the children in Northern Ireland live. I'll miss them all right, you know.
Are you going to say bye-bye already?
So there'll be big hugs and kisses as I drop them off at the giant window this morning. See you at the end of the week. Right, anything else?
Not on my agenda.
When he returns home, Jason and Brenda have their daily business meeting.
The final of Yummy Mummy Tatler is next Tuesday night.
Okay.
Just maybe followed up.
Jason expects this week to be a learning curve.
Most people believe there's jobs for everyone and that people need to get up and get out and do some work. And I'm not. I'm still on the fence here. You know, I still might have that opinion.
Teresa's morning meeting is with her cousin Flo, who lives nearby. It's about the plight of a neighbour jailed for not paying her TV licence.
She's already been down to them. She's out of jail now, but it doesn't look out of it. Just to make a whole new claim, which is going to take her about 3 weeks for it to come through, and that means she's got no money. Simple.
She can try, the only thing she can try if the all crisis loan, if she doesn't get it, she'll have to go to the nuns. That's the only thing.
It's a Vincent Hall, I don't know where.
Brenda has been asked to reduce her luggage and makeup to the bare essentials.
One hairbrush. I need that for my daughter's hair. That's more important than mine.
Teresa's teenage daughter, Idana, will be going with her to Belfast. Her boyfriend has just started university in Scotland and she's missing him. But her mum thinks she'll be fine in her new surroundings.
She'll be excited. She's exciting. She's excited. A mixture of excited. I'm nervous. As long as she can play a bit of music and do her stuff, because she'll be taking her CDs with her and all. Like,
And her phone.
and her phone
Is a
a
must.
vital.
Must.
Vital.
The contact.
She's got to live out her
contact
phone.
to reality.
Yes, she's got to live out her phone.
Just a little bit worried about what the week's going to bring. A bit apprehensive.
I'm coming. Here, Lady Godiva, take your own bag.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a bit nervous, but looking forward to it.
Lots of butterflies and nerves, but that's good.
For now, Teresa will live the well-off life that Brenda is used to.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well. Teresa?
Yeah.
Is it? Yes, I'm Jason. How are you? Adama? Hello. Hiya. Nice to meet you. You alright? Good. Come on in.
The housing estate where Brenda will spend the week is ranked in the top 10% of regional deprivation.
So Brenda's going to live in your place then?
Oh God, look, she's probably just going to get an awful shock.
Brenda is in for a much bigger shock than Teresa thinks.
I know. Then we'll have a look at the rest of the house.
Mommy, it's for you.
I know.
The house is darker and colder than Brenda had expected. There is a strong smell of damp.
This is very messy.
Oh.
A carpet covers one of the upstairs windows.
I don't understand this. Well, I don't know why it's there. I've never been in a house with a blocked up window. It's... I'm just in shock. The loo lid wouldn't bother me because you can hover.
This is just our conservatory. So you can just sort of chill out in here and stuff. There's a few different toilets and bathrooms around, so I'll show you them all.
As Jason introduces Teresa to her new life,
Gas heater, gas for the gas cooker.
Brenda reads about hers.
Dear Brenda, welcome to my life. Unfortunately, I have mental health problems, which mean I can't work. As you will be living my life, this means that you won't be able to work this week either. On top of this, I'm in the middle of changing from one benefit to another, so at the moment I have no money coming in. So you have no money. If you have any problems, call over to Flo across the road and she will help you out.
Okay, well tomorrow you want to follow Brenda's life. So tomorrow we're going to the press launch of Belfast Fashion Week.
Great, thank you very much.
There are people, men, women and children who are experiencing poverty every day of their lives. There are people who will never get out of the poverty trap.
With no money and no school uniforms, Brenda has gone to St Vincent de Paul for help.
People have said to me, there's no real poverty in Northern Ireland. You know, you see the people and they have cars and, you know, and you just think everybody is getting by. Maybe that is so wrong, as I'm finding out today, but that is mine and many other people's perception.
You're here for a week. Can you imagine what it is like to live your entire life in poverty, or to imagine that the children in your own home would experience poverty right from the day they're born, because that very poverty will rob them of their life's chances.
Teresa and Idana's evening is more light-hearted.
Thought we'd maybe catch a movie tonight. So, we've got a cinema screen, so it's really cool to watch a movie on, you know.
That is so cool.
So, hope you like it.
It's early to bed for Brenda and the children. So does Will miss his many toys?
Yeah.
And what does Lauren think of her new house?
Not good.
It's the first day for Will and Lauren at their new school, and it's the first time they or Brenda have ever had to walk to school. While they settle into their new classrooms, Jason drives Idana to work at his company's warehouse. In previous low-income jobs, Idana has received as little as £25 a day. Jason will be paying her more than double that. Brenda employs a cleaner back home. But now, while the kids are at school, she has to get her hands dirty. Jason and Teresa are pressing the flesh at the launch of Belfast Fashion Week. For Brenda, it would be the kind of business event she'd never miss, until this week.
Is there a price tag on them?
60,
150 pounds? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, they're nice.
Teresa is stunned that these shoes cost more than her weekly income.
So it's just
Yes, in perspective.
amazing, the gap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just absolutely amazing. So
Nice shoes though, aren't they?
they are.
Save the Children say that 1 in 5 families with kids can't afford to heat their homes. Teresa normally waits until 4 o'clock to light her fire, the only source of heat.
If you don't have any income, you don't have any heating, and the house can actually be very cold. But we do our best to keep it as warm as possible.
Are you burning the fire out?
I'm trying to get the coal to light. It's been so long since I've done this, Lauren. Do you know how many years? 10.
Brenda hasn't realised that she's not lighting coal, but slack.
What we really want is the coal to catch fire, Will. Who has shoes on? Can you go out the back alley and see if you can get me any sticks?
On a normal Tuesday night, Lauren would now be at an art class or the Girl Guides.
Do you know what? I think I finally got it. Isn't teamwork a great job? Yes. Yes.
Just that way.
Is there any coal lighting?
But after 3/4 of an hour, the fire begins to die out.
Well, that's enough now. That's enough now. Lauren! You poked that and it burnt me. Fire for tonight. And some nice...
We're doing teamwork.
I know we're doing teamwork. Would you like Mommy to have to do this every day, Will?
No.
No.
Fire.
A flick of a switch and you get your heating. This is an awful thing to have to do every day.
An hour later, the fire is finally lit, and now it's time to cook dinner.
Sorry, guys.
Instead of her usual aga, Brenda must get to grips with an old gas cooker.
Usually you hear a noise and there's no noise and I'm running out of matches. Lauren? No, not at the moment.
Have you not even put it
I don't think there's any gas. Hold on.
Like the fire, the cooker refuses to light.
Yeah.
What, he made the switch up by itself?
And then the television stops working.
No, I didn't. You broke
That's
the
on me.
TV!
What did you touch, Lauren? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Mum, there's no electric.
No, there is electric because those other things are working. No, see the lights are on.
No.
Was that on?
Yes, it was.
Let me see. Well, no, I need the lights on, son, to see what I'm doing, pet. To see what I'm doing, love.
With no money, food or television, Brenda is forced to ask for help from her new neighbours.
And how are you feeling about your colour then?
Teresa has only one worry to deal with today.
No, I just have a problem over here. I'm going to have to take my hearing aids out. And I've got 6% hearing off that. But I can lip right, so I'll get the gist. So.
Shay.
Brenda has called in on Flo, Teresa's neighbour, for food and answers.
I started to cook dinner tonight and I ran out of gas, so there's no gas, so I couldn't cook dinner. And then the children were watching the TV and it cut off.
Yes.
Now, I don't know what happened.
It's because of the slot. We can't go into the shop and buy a TV at £500.
So where's the TV from?
It's like a firm that they go round, right? They'll give us that TV. We have to pay £1 every 5 hours, but we pay over 300% interest on it. We end up paying £1,800 for a £500 TV. It's the only way we get it.
Scandalous.
So that's how people have their big TVs.
I think I've run out of gas, or I don't know if how the cooker works.
Is your gas empty?
I think it is.
Well then, we usually nip down to Kelly's shop around the corner.
Okay.
But what I do, we just put it in the pram and wheel it round.
But I've no money.
Well, we'll tell you what we do, what we work. See, our benefits are all different days. And the way we work, I'd say, I run Teresa's on a Friday, Monday. I would get hers then. So I would get your, you know what I mean?
And you
we swap
turn
about.
to help each other out?
We do, because our benefits all come on different days. That's it.
It is this benefit bartering system that really enables Teresa and Flo to get by.
This hurdle is a single fella's or a single girl's money for about 4 weeks on one hurdle. You know, and I was thinking, you know, what a load of people I know could. I'm sorry if you're upset.
You said you feel a little bit guilty.
Because it seems awful. It seems awful to me to spend £120 or £130 on a hurdle when people that I know are living on absolutely nothing.
You sound angry.
I'm frustrated, and I am angry. I'm angry at the government because they're not looking, they're not seeing what they should be looking. They're not seeing what we see every day. They're not seeing the horrendous conditions people's living in. I mean, the gap between the rich, the haves and the have-nots has widened and widened and widened till just ridiculous proportions, you know. And all anybody wants is an opportunity, a fair opportunity, you know. Our kids aren't getting the same start. You know, they're not even getting close to the same start.
What do you think of your mum now?
I mean, during the day and then sort of
End of day 2. I am feeling absolutely emotionally, physically, mentally exhausted. I have done nothing today. I have been a single mum and I haven't had a minute. The stress alone of being a single mum and these things happening to you is just undescribable, with no support of any partner. And my only saving grace today was the cousins, neighbours that were around to help.
Day 3. Brenda finds out about some of Will and Lauren's new classmates from the principal, Mr. Smith.
Some of them come from a socially deprived area. You know, some would come from more affluent areas.
Yeah.
When they come in, the uniform that we have is a great equaliser.
Yes.
So we treat one child no differently from the next.
Is it nice?
We have to be on our guard the whole time, so that we can pick up wee hints or wee, like for example, ankle socks during winter.
Yes.
At Will and Lauren's Belfast school, only 3% of kids take free school meals. Here, it's nearer 30%.
Well, our free school meals percentage is coming down. Now we're just below 1 in 3 children will be receiving free school meals. We believe that this is the main meal of all our children, so we have to make it very good.
Like carrots, potatoes.
Teresa and Idana are shopping with Brenda's usual budget.
That there's the cheap one, but I would say she probably get Beverly Hills formula.
The Shankies housekeeper has written out a list of what Brenda would normally buy.
£213, right? And Jason's saying that shop will be done about 3 times a week. 3 times a week. It just blows me away that people, that people are able to do that.
Food sorted, Jason introduces Teresa to one of Brenda's favourite clothes stores. Several £100, and a couple of hours later, she's a new woman.
Thank you. Like a pretty woman.
Brenda's been shopping too.
I probably give too much time to my image. It may be because of the industry I'm in, because of the world I live in. People seem to judge very much by appearance. I'm Brenda.
Teresa's boyfriend Patrick comes round to help connect the gas.
Have you worked this before?
Yeah. I don't know if I have the clip on, Patrick, right or not.
Let me see.
The TV hire purchase man has arrived, but as he's camera shy, Patrick does the talking.
The TV is £12 a week.
£12 a week.
And every 4 weeks they come and empty the box.
Okay.
So there has to be £48 in that box.
Okay. You want to watch TV?
You will get 5 hours every pound you put in.
Okay.
But you have to remember to turn it off at the wall, or it keeps
yes,
going.
I've learned that mistake.
But any probes now with that box, just give me a phone.
Alright, okay.
Thank you, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, flip. I'm really worried now that the washing machine's flooding. I have a school uniform in there. It's really dirty and it needs, it needs clean for tomorrow.
Just check me.
No, I'll just...
Idana has her own concerns about education.
I am looking forward to going to university, very much so, but it's just going to be very hard so, because of all the loans and things that you need. By the time that you're out of university, you're in so much debt, it's going to take you your whole life to pay it off anyway.
I would have loved to have gone to university. I absolutely would have loved to have gone to university, but the option wasn't there for me. Like, it just definitely was not there for me because I spent quite a bit of my young life in care. Then I got married very young and then I got divorced and was bringing up the kids on my own.
I'm starving too.
What is sectarianism?
Teresa is now doing evening classes, which is what Brenda and Patrick are attending.
You know,
On the way home, Patrick explains his view of the poverty trap to Brenda.
If you get a job here, you have to pay your own rent.
Yes.
All your bills.
Yes.
So in order to do that, especially if you've children, right?
Yeah.
You need a well-paid job to cover all them expenses.
Teresa's new home for the week is a source of endless surprise.
This is an indication of the luxury of this house. You have 7 or 8 timers here for underfloor heating for each different floor in the house. It would be anybody's dream to have that kind of heating system in their home.
Housing is a dilemma for many in this area. Flo explains that there isn't enough social housing. Some people have to move into private accommodation. This often creates its own trap.
A cousin of mine, because she can't get a council house, she's in private accommodation. Now her rent is £140 a week. And because she's a single mother on benefits, they will only pay so much of her rent, leaving her £30 a week. And that's for her heating, her food. And then obviously she's going to fall into arrears, she's going to have to feed herself and get the heating. When she goes to the housing executive and they look at her papers, they're going to say, well, you're in rent arrears, you've intentionally made yourself homeless, we can't help you.
This kind of trap is something Frances Dowds from the Anti-Poverty Network knows all about. It is the only organisation of its kind whose focus is poverty, yet even its funding may run out this year.
So how are you finding it, living on the income of a lone parent?
Well, I don't actually have any because I owe it all out. And the alarming bit for me was that out of your benefit money, you actually have to pay rent money. I thought all of your rent was paid.
No.
It's not like that at all. You have your rent to pay out of that. Your electricity, your heating. So by the time you go through all your bills, there's very little left for food.
People living in poverty are just exactly the same as you and me. Maybe education failed them, maybe they've had health reasons that have caused difficulties around employment. Maybe there's caring responsibilities, maybe they can't access childcare to get a job. Or the job that are available, you know, aren't worth taking up because they're short-term or part-time or low paid. What we'd really like to see our government do would be to prioritise addressing poverty. And maybe to try to do something along the lines of what you've done, you know, put themselves in the shoes of someone who struggles to keep things together.
A night on the town in Belfast. Jason introduces Teresa and Idana to the darker side of male grooming. News arrives for Teresa about her benefits. She's given Brenda permission to open her mail.
Thank you for your claim to incapacity benefit. In 6 weeks' time, you will have to meet to discuss your first interview. This letter is just saying her claim has been processed, but no dates as to when she receives any money.
In the absence of any benefits, Brenda has been given the equivalent of Teresa's weekly food budget.
I've got £40 to do a week, and that is everything. That includes toiletries, cleaning materials, food. So I'm trying to get a bit of a balance here in the vegetables first. So it's an education for me today, trying to see how I can get nutrition.
Brenda is used to a credit card and limitless resources.
I'm starting to have a panic attack because I don't want to be embarrassed at the till, but I'm quite frightened in case I don't have enough money to pay for this.
Things could be worse for Brenda. Some people in the area have had to rely on the local nuns every Friday in order to obtain food. While their mum's been having an attack of nerves, Will and Lauren are proving to be a big hit at their school.
Over there, come on up, please. Come on ahead up. Congratulations, Lauren. Congratulations, Will. Well done. We have two very good certificates for their work this week and their bravery for coming to a different school and making new friends. So well done to Will and to Lauren. It's a big clap for Will and Lauren.
Hello, how are you?
Meanwhile, at the private sports club Brenda normally attends, Teresa has been lapping it up. On the way to pick up Teresa's weekly prescription, Patrick points out a local drinking spot.
This is where we come to drink during the days because we can't afford to drink in pubs and there's nowhere else for us all to gather, so we all stand here and drink carry-outs. Even in the rain, if it's not too bad, we'd still come here.
Teresa was prescribed Valium at the age of 12. She still takes a wide range of medication to combat stress, as Brenda discovers.
Oh, diazepam. Take one 4 times a day. Take one 3 times a day. One in the morning. Haven't a clue what any of them are for. at all, but it's an awful lot of tablets to be taken in one day.
With Teresa's permission, Brenda shows her prescription to a doctor.
I was wondering, could you give me a bit of a background on the drugs and kind of what they are, what they do?
Okay. Now, that's a very hefty dose of tranquilizer.
Wow.
You might use it for very, very severe anxiety to control thoughts that are overwhelming.
Well, basically, bottom line is, would you be able to work with this amount of drugs?
I think it might be quite difficult.
Yeah.
To work on this. You know, your reaction time to things would definitely be slowed down.
Right. Each day this week has brought a different type of stress. Depression, is it very common in lower paid communities?
Yes.
Yes?
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
It's much easier to become unwell
Yes.
when you're living at or below the poverty line.
That's right.
Than if you have that cushion of money.
Yeah.
The answer is not a prescription from me. The answer is a change in life circumstances.
Back in Belfast, Teresa is flat out. She's been treating herself.
It's very relaxing, hugely beneficial. It lowers stress levels and it saves on people using medication.
Brenda could do with a treat herself.
The one thing that I would absolutely love, totally indulgent, is a massage. My back is broke.
Here you are, Teresa.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
I imagine Brandon would probably feel very stressed right now, and I'd say she'd probably be a bit shocked at the way other people have to live. When you live it, it really makes you see the stark reality of how different life is for people, you know. And sometimes, you know, it makes me feel sad because we're surrounded with depression, hopelessness, and this is really living. You know, we're surviving and everybody else is living.
In spite of the luxury they've been enjoying, Teresa and Idana are eager to go back home, even before the week's up.
I'm glad to go home. I miss my family and my friends, you know, and I suppose home's home no matter where you are, you know.
The 2008 Social Attitude Survey says that 1 in 4 people believe the poor are lazy. It's beliefs like this that Teresa hopes she's challenged.
I would have been frustrated from things that Jason has been telling me about before we done this programme. When he had spoken to his friends, you know, they had said, you know, well, these people are scroungers, you know what I mean? And I knew I know that's not the case, and I knew that these people really didn't know us. So that made me angry. But, you know, this is my chance to prove that this isn't actually the truth.
Brenda and the kids are playing an educational board game. It's the Poverty Trap.
Free dinner.
Oh no. TV Licence Patrol, have your caught people in street. Oh no. Buy or hide. Every time doorbell rings. #130.
What do you want to do? Do you want to pay the TV licence man £130, or do you want to hide and pretend you're not in?
Hide.
Hide? So you don't want to pay the TV man?
As she packs her bags, Teresa has some very real concerns.
Well, what I'm facing is to see have they reinstated my benefit. Are they going to reinstate my benefit? And if not, how then I'm going to cope with that. And I mean, the battle will continue, I suppose.
So what has Idana gained from this week?
Probably a greater understanding of the middle class people. I just didn't know anything about them. I didn't know how they would react to me or to my class or anything.
I have changed my opinion. It's because I've heard the stories. You know, because it's not just about poverty. It's about what goes with that. We always talk about Africa and India and other countries where there's poverty, and we're all trying to help people living in those countries, when in fact, right on our doorstep, a third of our population are living below the breadline. So maybe we should focus more on the people at home.
Brenda is deflated and feels unwell. She doesn't know that Teresa and Idana are desperate to return home and that the life swap ends today.
We are just We're going to watch TV today, aren't we, guys? There's not much options. I'm really tired. I don't really have the energy to go exploring anywhere. There's no parks nearby. So at the minute for the weekend we're totally homebound, housebound.
Brenda is told that she and the kids are going home a day early. Relief is tinged with sadness.
The kids, it was an adventure for them, but the reality for me was too much. It's really not a nice way to live. It's really not. I can't believe that in this day and age that people have to live in these conditions. That you're so cold and so hungry, that your total lack of enthusiasm or zest for life, there is none because you're just constantly trying to cope. It's just a vicious circle of hell, you know, there's no way out. You're just trying to cope from day to day and you've got to make the best of it and there's nowhere to go. It's just so sad and I can't believe that the statistics of how many people who actually live like this. I'll miss the community spirit. I really will. It's been an amazing journey, a most fantastic journey. The way people rally around to help each other, you know, people are looking out for you and then you know they are. Thanks for everything.
No problem.
Flo and Patrick saved my life this week. Literally. They have a very special place in my heart and I'll keep friends with them. I really will.
Oh. Hiya, how are you?
1 hour later, but a million miles away.
Hi guys.
It was a week's journey for me and I've come to the end of it. It's those people's reality. That's what's not nice about it. They're very good people, but they were just not given the same choices that I was given. And it's not that they're any better or I'm any better than them. It was just the choices. It's the hand of cards that you're dealt. Oh.
They lived each other's lives for a week, but today is the first time they have actually met.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey,
how are you?
Pleased to meet you. You too.
How was your week?
It was mad. Absolutely. No, it was just really, really different. I'm sure yours was really mad too.
Yes, it was very difficult.
I'm sure it was.
Very difficult. You know.
Fair play for doing that. You know.
Well, I've definitely learnt a lot.
Brenda and Teresa are off to Stormont on budget day to meet Danny Kennedy MLA. He chairs the Child Poverty Committee.
Brenda.
Mr. Kennedy,
lovely to see you. Teresa,
hello, Danny,
lovely to see you again.
In the light of today's budget, Danny, do you think there would be any room within that budget for, say, emergency housing in the Armagh area as we are at crisis point?
This administration is only up and running 8 months, and to be fair to the Minister, you know, this is the very first budget. The allocations have been made. From the draft budget was made, you know, the early allocations, more money has actually been given to housing.
Child poverty eradicated by 2020, will that happen?
Well, I have to be honest with you, Brenda, and say that's a very tall order and a very big ask. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm going to say it can be alleviated by 2020. In my view, I doubt very much if it can be completely eradicated.
Well, politicians are listening depending on the day. They listen when there's plenty of cameras around. They're the only people that's got the power at the end of the day, but I think the answers lie within the communities themselves. And I think it's about time to stop being afraid and stop being held as prisoners in poverty.
There's no way in the world I could have imagined that people live like that. I really didn't believe that.
Lived like what?
Lived like from penny to penny, from day to day, from week to week, you know, nothing to stimulate your mind, just complete survival.
I learned that their middle class people have no information, do not believe that poverty exists in their own country. They believe that poverty only exists in places like Ethiopia, and I think it'll bring home very starkly that poverty does exist within this country and that, you know, it needs to be addressed, and I think that it comes as a shock to many people.
For those people who think that people like Teresa are scroungers, they need to do what I did for a week. They need to go and live in the housing estate and live and try and themselves work out the benefit trap, and then they can come and give me their genuine opinion.